How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Rowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we've got loads of things to talk about Scarlet and Violet, specifically leaks, rumors, and a massive amount of speculations that are really interesting. So please stick by. It's going to be a long video. There's going to be a lot of information that you guys do not want to miss. So let's get things started right off here, guys. So this is the first thing. This was shared by Axe Doodles. Shout out to this man. But basically, they created what they think are some interesting concepts for what we could see in these games. Some examples of, since this is an open world game. Yes, Scarlet and Violet are confirmed to be fully open world, okay? And because they are fully open world, that means that these games, okay, just hear me out, these games may feature new gimmicks within them that have nothing to do with the Pokemon themselves, but you as a player. So he created literally these artworks right here that you guys can take a look at. He created literally these artworks, okay, where he shows, for example, if we had Pokemon trainer gear. So what he calls this is level up your trainer gear throughout your adventure, acquire new gear with specific attributes to help you through your journey. Basically what he's talking about is, what if we had specific gear that we as the player put on our character that will change different aspects of our character? Maybe increase our catching, like you see down there on that character. Maybe increase our EXP gain by 10 to 30%. Or maybe we put on the blue glove, we get a higher encounter rate from 5 to 20% on certain Pokemon. So I personally think the idea of Pokemon trainer gear is awesome. It makes you as a trainer pick and choose a bit more and be a bit more careful about what you're picking. Imagine, like, you know, there's an option in the end game where you can pick between, oh, this is going to give you a higher catch chance, or this is going to give you a higher chance of finding a shiny Pokemon, or this is going to give you a higher chance of finding an even rarer Pokemon than a shiny form, right? What if you had stuff like that? I think it would be really sick where you just, you know, have to adjust your character a bit more to make sure that they fit into the mold. And then you also have this idea right here, where you as a Pokemon trainer actually level. Now, this has kind of already been seen in Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus kind of already did this to some extent. Not really all the way out, okay? Not like all massive and fully expansive, but a little bit of this. But imagine if your trainer grows alongside your Pokemon, increase passive attributes through a level up system, and gain new abilities by defeating gym leaders, challenges, and filling out your decks. So yes, literally, your trainer would have a level. In this concept, with this ID, you would have a trainer level and trainer attributes. For example, Pokemon training, you could increase that with your stat points. So every level you get, you might get a point you can put into these stats, every maybe 10 levels or something like that. Then you can increase your capture rate, your friendship with your Pokemon, your resourcefulness, which maybe is, you know, where you find certain items in the wild, or you're easier at finding, you know, having easier time of doing that specifically. And he also included the idea of maybe having trainer gear with the shoes. For example, specific ones that give you speed, so increase running speed for, 2 to 15%, sneak, which makes your footstep noise reduce so you can easier sneak up on some Pokemon, and endurance here, which gives you a longer sprint duration. I personally love this, okay? The idea of us having like a straight up like Pokemon gear, straight up having like a totally different working system for Pokemon like this, honestly would be bloody fantastic. I think this is one of the coolest ideas I've seen for Pokemon. I'm going to talk about this one tonight on our live stream that we're going to be doing, and our podcast, the Pokemaniacs podcast we're doing tonight. But I think this is a really cool idea, and honestly, I think they might do something like this. I do hope they go for this, because this gives the whole game more of that, like, action RPG feeling, right? That you as the character are actually also important, and not just whatever Pokemon you manage to capture. Like, you as a character have some sort of customization level that is more than just changing an outfit. It's deeper. If they go this deep, I think it'll be sick. But this is not all. There is even more. So this is the first thing, but we also have this right here. So you guys may recognize these from the logo of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, what are these logos? Well, we've been trying to figure that out. Everybody's trying to figure it out. But guess what? None else than my boy, Lindsay Sensei, sent this to me. He sent it to me over on Discord, and he specifically told me a few different things. So I will just give you guys a translation here of what he was, not translation, but just what he was telling me about this. So, as an example, right, he says, well, if you look at this right here, we've been trying to figure out what all this is. And he kind of points out that, all of these are kind of connected in some way or shape to navigation. All these logos are connected to navigation, which makes sense because, again, we're talking about Portugal and Spain here, two countries that are well known through history for doing a lot of exploration, traveling around the world, a lot of stuff, okay? They've traveled all over this literal world of ours, and because of that, they did have to use certain instruments, even inventing certain instruments that had to be used specifically when you were out at sea, right? Maritime sort of, specific items. So, how does this all connect? Well, he was able to figure out. So, first up, the one on the top, I'm not certain about, but the last one here at the bottom, he says the last one is the armillary sphere. It's the same one on the Portuguese flag. So if you look at this one right here, this is the Portuguese flag, right? You guys can see it. Right there's the Portuguese flag. And if you look at the last logo, right down here, if you look at these two, they're a bit similar, okay? They are a bit similar. You've got like a sphere in the middle, and then it's like kind of turning around it, right? The second one, which I guess would be, in this case, this guy up here, this specifically says that the second nautical instrument is the astrolabe, which was invented by the Portuguese. The Portuguese nautical astrolabe is an adaptation of the planispheric astrolabe. The need to adapt this instrument arose in the Age of Discovery, when Portuguese navigators had to navigate the high seas, far from the coast, which, yes, made sense. You needed these items to be able to navigate around the world because, well, guess what? GPS didn't exist back then. So, he says it all connects with the era of discovery and navigation themes. And you guys already know what this one might be related to if you've seen our previous videos. This guy, sorry, not like this guy right here. The third one you might already know, that's a sextant, also an item, a navigational tool that was also specifically created, for navigation and was used by the Portuguese and the Spanish back in the day. It's still used today, by the way. The sextant still is used today within travel, so that is still used. So all of these logos in some way or shape could be connecting to multiple different things. For example, the logo up here, if you look at the kind of upside down trident part of it, that could be psi, which is specifically used when calculating within specifically with quantum time and stuff like that, quantum crystals, quantum time. If you're kind of calculating that, you do need psi in there because it's part of it, right? So that's the calculation for it. And guess what? It's also included. There is a weird connection here. There is the theme of traveling, of navigation, exploration, which makes sense because this is our first open world Pokemon game, which means we're going to be exploring a lot. I mean, really, really, really mean a lot. We're going to be exploring everywhere in these games, okay? We're going to be exploring every part of these games. Keep that in mind. It's going to be a big, big exploration game, which also means that the theme of exploration makes the most sense. It fits perfectly with the rest of everything that we're looking at. And this has been pointed out by other people as well, who did say that, first of all, Picoso doesn't believe that the arguments made by another content creator, I think Kayla Capsule, specifically, she was talking about it being, this idea of, the quantum time and all that sort of stuff. But he's trying to say maybe it isn't got to do that. Maybe it's a sea, a mountain, and specifically the number A1 here, like she also said, might be specifically referring to multiplayer. Now, I'm going to be honest, I think this explanation right here, with this all being related to some form of like navigation and traveling, makes the most sense, okay? This fits in perfectly into this theme. Again, like I think personally this is the best explanation we're going to get for this, at least for now. There might be some other people that discover things, but this is what I've got for now to work with, which moves us on to the next thing. Now, this comes to us from our boy Kuro Blitz. Now, Kuro Blitz does a lot of research on the Pokemon anime, so he knows more about that than he knows about specifically, other aspects of Pokemon, but because of that knowledge, when he comes in really hard, and he's got some great theories. And he starts off with this theory: Mega Evolution will return, but not how we think. Many cases of such makes a Pokemon go berserk and primal, but sometimes it skips stages and types. Infinity Energy can either regress or progress their biodata into a Gen 9 dubs in ancient or advanced form. This is what he thinks is going to happen. Basically, that this icon that we see right here, this logo, this thingy, this crystal is the same as Mega Evolution. But the big difference is it doesn't work the same way as Mega does back in the, back the way we remember it. Mega Evolutions happened a long time ago. I think Mega Rayquaza is canonically, and according to lore, Mega Rayquaza is the first ever Mega Evolution that actually happened in terms of just the general lore. As far as I'm aware, I think it was the Pokemon that first Mega evolved, at least within the manga of Pokemon, which is I consider the canon version, but that's besides the point. But either way, so he's suggesting ancient or advanced forms. He continues on. Take this as you wish. Just thought it would be interesting to bring up. Many times, then, not Pokemon are said to awaken their powers once they're mega evolved. But it's never stated to which temporal direction the awakening is. Lopunny and Dino might have lost or gained types. Maybe. There's a lot of interesting cases. Mega Charizard Y having Drought is more natural, but we don't know if such ability is more primal or not due to Groudon, Slowbro is, for example, unique. Maybe the Megas was the original form, but the parasitic Shelter became symbiotic and drastically adapted. Basically, what he's trying to say here is that Mega Evolutions might return, but they're going to work in a different way. They're not going to be, just your regular, standard way of working. Instead, that they're going to be like sort of brand new forms that are either the ancient versions of a Pokemon, like the ancient version. For example, like Aerodactyl here definitely looks like it is the ancient version of itself. So imagine if we get a brand new form, not a mega, but something brand new. We call it something brand new, and it is the future form of Aerodactyl rather than the ancient form, which is what the mega serves as. The mega is the ancient looking form. Meanwhile, the other one can serve as a future form. Something like that. So an advanced or ancient form, I think these things might happen, as it would honestly add in the ability for them to make brand new forms without having to, you know, add in too many brand new Pokemon per se. So I think this is highly possible, just gonna be frankly honest. Moving on to another thing from Kuro, he specifically says there has been a lot of promotion. This is really happening recently, guys. There's been a lot of promotion, even in Pokemon, specifically Masters, for, guess what? Time travel. A lot of time traveling, as you guys may have noticed. They say here, you know, Lyra, I've seen the outfit you're wearing before in old documents from the Johto region. Yes, and a lot of references to Johto as well, by the way, which makes me think that the next games after Scarlet and Violet are going to be Johto remakes in one way or shape. Anyways, I'm sure I read the dancers in the region used to wear clothes like that long ago. Well, hey, why not? Certainly, the land of Isui bears some resemblance to Sinjo. Guess what? Sinjo. They refer to Sinjo, not, you know, Johto or Sinjo, which is the area where, like, you know, the two regions sort of connect, right? Is the one place where they share a sort of border, give or take, right? So is it possible that the old, like, you know, Johto used to be referred to as Sinjo in this case? I don't really know, but basically, what this gives me in terms of my brain, what this makes me think of is one very important thing. There is a lot of time traveling involved in Pokemon recently, so these guys are definitely time travelers, but not just that. I think we might be seeing Johto in the near future. I think we're going to be going back to Johto, going to be exploring Johto. Things are going to be great. Just get excited. Moving on to the next thing. This was sent to me by Razor124. He says, hey, Ruffle Rowlet, I'm not sure how to get word out because I don't have a following, but you do. I was thinking, what if the RF, and he's referring to now to Riddler-Ku. Now, Riddler-Ku is a real leaker, if you guys didn't know. He's a real leaker that's released real information in the past, and he came through and has been giving us a lot of awesome kind of, you know, like leaks and stuff to look at. But he says, what if the riveting new RF, which we've been trying to figure out what that word and sentence mean, what the letters RF means. You guys might think it's regional form, but that's the whole point. It's not meant to be regional form, it's meant to be something else. And he says, what from Ku could mean maybe riveting new ride feature, since he confirmed it does not mean regional form. I thought riveting might be a clue, since rivets are used in mechanical things, and the box legendaries appear to be motorcycles will ride. Worth a thought. I think you are 100% crazy here, mate. I didn't even know that rivets were a mechanical, you know, I guess instrument within actually, you know, vehicles. I did not even know that, but the fact that you just confirmed that does mean that, yes, they have taken a long time to think through how they're going to include all this stuff together into one mushy thing. So there you go, guys. Move on to the next thing, which is a 4chan post, which is starting right here from the top. He says, you can call me fake, I don't really care. This is secondhand information of someone's interpretation of what they've seen anyways. There are new types of regional forms. I do not know the exact names of these two. The two versions have very distinct differences in their forms. Some are obtainable in both versions, but it's clear that each favors one version. So this is maybe the idea of, like, this guy's trying to, like, of course, this is a rumor, guys. Remember, these rumors can be posted by anyone. Sometimes they are real, oftentimes they're not, so keep that in mind. But if they are real, I think it's worth to take a look at, because there was one recently that we had before Scarlet and Violet came out that ended up actually kind of being real, and we've also had other posts that turned out being 100% correct, so keep that in mind. But he's talking about the same thing here. What if we have these advanced and past forms, these ancient and advanced forms, ancient and futuristic forms? That honestly is a great idea. And then having maybe one of the, you know, a lot of the future forms in the Scarlet game and the other side, the other game, so that, you know, you kind of do have to trade with each other to get the ancient forms, you know, in the future game, and the, you know, advanced forms in the past game. So I think that would be a cool idea. Scarlet will have ancient forms. He actually confirms it. There's going to be very reminiscent of Hisui forms. Pokemon from long ago, now extinct or thought of to be extinct. The professor in this version will be responsible for studying these Pokemon. The professor in Violet will have more futuristic Pokemon as their point of study. They are Pokemon genetically accelerated. These will not require a futuristic look to them, just an enhanced version of the Pokemon, although many of them do have a futuristic theme. This brings us to our legendary Pokemon. One is very genetically stable, okay? Almost the same ability of a Relicanth. The other genetically unstable and continuously changing. Then he says that Diglett, Seviper, Evo, Venomoth, Sunflora, and Greninja will receive a futuristic form. Spinda, Zangoose Evo, as well as Parasect, Charizard, Persian, and get ancient forms. Okay, there's no mention here of another guy, which we're going to talk about in a bit, but let's continue. So I'm unsure of the form types for Tauros and Dunsparce, or if they're even going to get any Evos, or if there even are there. But he says new evolution for Eevee are in the game and obtainable reliable in both versions, but are actually different forms of old evolutions. They're to follow this past and future theme. I will answer any questions if you have them, go on. But he doesn't really go much into Dunsparce and Tauros, which is a bit strange because there is a lot of weird points towards that. So I don't really know what's going to happen with that, guys. But there is also this one right here, which I think is interesting. So there has been some like speculation about there being a brand new Diglett form. We did see during the trailer, in Scarlet and Violet's second trailer, there's this one moment that's really weird. It is basically more or less a bunch of sand shooting up from the first gym being shown off, which looks like a ground or rock type gym. There's a bunch of sand that shoots up and we can't really see what's happening, and we're speculating it might be a brand new Diglett form because they've been pushing Diglett in a weird way recently. They've been promoting Diglett. They even have this animated trailer right here of a Diglett, which just makes no sense. It's just like a little animated thingy to celebrate the Pokemon shirts, which is just a little bit strange that they're doing that. And Riddler Koo, a real leaker, was making a reference to a fan art, I guess, of a Diglett form that was an ice type. He was making the idea of like, he was just telling us, oh, this one's really close to the real thing, which is a bit strange to say, okay? It's a bit strange for him to say that. So I do wonder what that actually means though, guys. But yeah, I don't really know what else I can really tell you guys about that. So what do you all think about this? What do you guys all think about this? But it's not all for the video, guys. We have a big one. I think you guys will like this. So this is from Summer Theories, who says he's made some progress on trying to recreate the actual map of what we saw in the trailer. Yes, he's been trying to recreate I think either the Barcelona or Madrid city here, but he says, I'm getting more and more convinced that they made an almost one-to-one replica of Park Güell. Now, if you don't know what Park Güell is, this is what Park Güell is. It's a real place over there. It's a real life place, and it seems like they are trying to recreate it. They're trying in some way or shape to actually recreate it. So he just showed off a picture here, and if you guys look, yeah, he's basically trying to recreate it himself here in Photoshop, and he's done a great job so far. My man has done a great. So guys, check out Summer Theories. He's got some great stuff going on right here, and I honestly think that this game is going to be quite interesting. A lot of people are speculating will there be a lot of cities. I'm telling you right now, this game is going to be jam-packed with cities for us to explore. Jam-packed, okay? And we're going to finish things off with this post right here. This was shared by Blaze and Cineroar, a kind of a leak analyst as well over on Twitter. And he basically came out and said, okay, take a look at this one. It's a new 4chan post, which is kind of interesting. This guy says, bros, I can't explain how I got this info. And he says, there is another motorcycle Pokemon you could acquire early on that you use similarly to the ride Pokemon from Alola. The open world is not massive, but big enough that you have to rely on the Pokemon often. Gyms are now part of a motorcycle Grand Prix where you must race if you wish to compete in battles. Interesting. 8 courses and a finals round. The champion utilizes the opposite legendary to yours for final race and battle. Well, fair enough. No real high stakes plot, just exploration and lore of the region. That is a bit disappointing if true. I'll be honest. That is a bit disappointing. And the guy is also kind of hinting at a new kind of give like a shiny version, I guess, here of a Dunsparce, probably implying that either we're getting a new form for it, some kind of new form, maybe part of the new gimmick in the game, or we're getting something totally different related to it. So I don't really know, but I do think that Dunsparce might be getting a brand new evolution. There is, again, the fact that Riddler Koo, which we're going to take a look at his post right here. Riddler Koo specifically. Again, this man is a straight up leaker. He has correct information. And this guy straight up came out and said for us to pay attention, okay? To pay attention. I don't know if you can find the post right here because it is just in his, I think, replies and all that. But he did tell us to pay attention to Dunsparce and pay attention to a post that he sort of like quote tweeted, so to say. So we're going to be trying to find that one because it is the big one. But again, I don't really know where it is right now because this man tweets quite often. So I don't really know if I can find it. But nonetheless, I'm going to be just kind of confirming what, again, that one said. It was a big data miner. It was a data miner from, the Pokemon community. I think Matty is his name. But he basically came out and said, I hope to God they give Dunsparce some love. And they give this guy, some attention. And then all of a sudden, Riddler Koo comes in and quote tweets that and says, I would pay attention to this. I would pay attention to this, which means that Dunsparce may finally get some love and appreciation, which I think is only really about time, this guy has just been waiting for bloody ever. And we finish things off with this post right here, which is Atto saying, the logo continues to remind me of the models of Portuguese ships during the great discoveries of the 16th century, which yes, we talked about this in our previous video as well. This is also shared to me by our boy Lince Sensei. And then we also have this right here, which says, Smolip also reminds me of the beta version of Hoppip, which yes, it is true. They do share similarities. They really do. I mean, if you even look at the original Yellow Hoppip, the starter version of it, the first version of it, is black colored, which I think is what the shiny version of Small will look like, because that's what like certain olives can also look like. Certain olives can be black colored rather than the green color. So I definitely think the shiny will be a black colored one instead, or its evolution is going to be black colored instead. We'll have to wait and see though how that turns out. And he finishes things off right here saying, a popular theory around the legendary says that it's the same creature but existing in the several forms, and I think we've forgotten the impact of Necrozma in the vision of legendaries and its form. Maybe the two legendaries could be merging together, not like Necrozma with Lunala and Solgaleo. Now, I don't think they're going to be going together with Necrozma. I think these two guys either merge together with each other or with the third legendary. A kind of fusion between all of them with that one to maybe get back to their present, future, etc., you know, past times. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe. And that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. My name is Ralph. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye-bye, ladies and gents.